Scully. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Rochester Hills, Michigan. And it is Wednesday night at 6 o'clock, and that is when I go live to share a free class with you. This week I'm actually going to kind of be double dipping. It is, I'm leaving tomorrow morning for vacation, and so I am going to be sharing my club cards. I needed to do my June club, and so I decided I would just kind of kill two birds with one stone, so to speak, and share all of that with you here. It looks like it's a little bit dark. Let me see if I can bring my lights in here and get it so we can see just a bit better. I'm trying this new camera setup, so I came on just a minute ago and was sideways, which was not a good look. So I just decided I would delete that one and try it this way. Okay, that's a little bit better lighting for us. Okay, so we're gonna actually be doing our club cards tonight with the Wisteria Wonder. But before we jump in and do that, I'm gonna share with you, I went on a little stamping class today, and I went with two of my downline, and another of our downline was doing the class, so it was great fun, and I thought I'd share the cards that we made. So this is one of them. Isn't that pretty? We used the new stencils with some shimmery stencil paste, and it's really, really pretty. I'm gonna try and get up there so you can kind of see the sparkles in it. See how sparkly it is? Super fun, gorgeous card. And I did a peach one, and then I did this violet one. And I can't tell which one I like the best. They're both so pretty. And then we did this one with the teacup. And I think that's a really pretty one too. She put little gems in the top of the flowers to kind of make them sparkle and add a little extra something there. And then this one, which I think is really pretty. So I think that they're upside down. Let me figure this out for a minute. I'm used to holding things upside down, and I think this is the right way. Oh, Pam, I like that one. All right, so I think I need to go this way so that they're in the right direction for you and not upside down. I know, Pam, aren't they gorgeous cards? So, and we made 4 cards, and we did 2 of each of them. So this is the last one, and this is with the bottles, and I absolutely think those are so gorgeous. Okay, so let's jump in and we'll get started with our club. For those of you that don't know, I have a monthly club called the Creativity Club. We meet once a month on Zoom and put our cards together. We make 2 each of 4 different cards, and you get a half a pack of paper, and this time it was the beautiful butterfly paper that is 6 by 6. And you get a spool of ribbon, and we did the fresh freesia ribbon. Let me see, I have an open pack of that somewhere here. Oh, here it is. So we did the fresh freesia ribbon, and then we did the heart pearls. And if you can see, those pearls are, I actually colored some that we're going to be using today. But they have like a white one, and then they have kind of an opal color one. They're both white, but one of them is kind of more iridescent than the other one. Has a shiny glossy finish. And then we're going to be using the Wisteria Wishes stamp set. And this does have some dies that coordinate with it. And these are the dies. I did not use the dies on any of the cards today, but you easily could adapt them to work with these dies. I just kept my designs really simple. So, in fact, most of the kits were white cardstock, as you will see in a minute. So, this is the one we're gonna start with. And so we're gonna need the wisteria, and we're going to need the tree's branch stamp, and we're going to need the inside for the wisteria. I normally would have these all in buckets, but I guess I want to turn it this way. Still learning this new system. It might take me a while. But I just was running late, and so it was better that I was here. And you guys will bear with me, show me a little grace as I get myself set up and ready. When you are part of the club, you get a tutorial. So I sent out my tutorials yesterday. So it just tells you all of the materials we used. Okay, all of the materials we used, what's included in your kit, and then there's step-by-step instructions for all of the cards along with a little picture. So, and you get your own paper, so we will be doing some cutting today. And your kits come like this. So you have everything you need to make your card in this envelope. And I'm just gonna find my envelope. See, these are, like I said, there are a lot of weight in these cards. So this is the one we're gonna start with. And my thick white card base is 5.5 by 8.5, scored on the 8.5 inch side at 4 1/4. So your kits will come with things to do both of your cards, and then you have an envelope and another envelope. So you get the card pieces along with the envelopes. All right, so we're gonna start by taking the thick Whisper White, and we're just going to fold it on the score line and burnish it. And then I'm gonna take a piece of Designer Series paper, and you can pick any piece of paper that you want. Because I'm using the Fresh Freesia, I'm gonna go ahead and use a piece of Fresh Freesia. So I'm gonna choose this one, and I'm gonna cut it to 5.5 by 4 1/4. That is the actual size of my card. So it's gonna cover the whole front of my card. So I'm gonna do that 5.5, and then turn it and do 4 1/4. Okay. And then I'm just gonna put some Stamp and Seal on the back of it. And it's gonna cover the whole front of my card base. And you could actually have used Fresh Freesia. You can use anything for your card base because you are gonna be covering it. Okay, so then I'm going to take this piece of paper, and I'm going to start by stamping my tree on it, and I'm going to stamp that in Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to actually use my 2nd generation for that stamp. Here we go. And your 2nd generation just means that you're going to ink your stamp up, and then you're going to stamp off and then stamp it. So this is going to be your 2nd generation. Okay, and I'm just going to stamp it just like that. And then we are going to take our Wisteria image, and we're going to stamp it in Fresh Freesia. So this is going to be your Wisteria image right here, and it's going to be your thicker stamp, and it actually has 3 images on it. The other part is thinner, and it just has 1 image on it, and that's going to be the darker color. So the thickest one is going to be your lightest color, and I'm just going to ink it up, and I'm going to line it up with these 3 like stems that are hanging down from your branch. And because it's photopolymer, you're gonna get a really good idea where you wanna stamp it, okay? And then I'm gonna take my darker color, which for this one is gonna be Highland Heather. And I love these two-step stamps because you can build so much depth very easily and quickly. So I'm gonna take this one and I'm just gonna line it up with those wisteria little branches. Okay? It is so, so pretty. And then I'm gonna take my ribbon and I'm gonna wrap my ribbon all the way around this piece of cardstock. And I probably should have stamped it more over towards this edge, but I think it'll be okay. I'm gonna keep this right at the edge and just pull it up enough. Leave it tied on there. So I'm just gonna tie it in a knot. And then tie a bow. And I'm just gonna do little bunny ears for my bow. And loop one around the other and pull it back up through the hole. Pull them tight. And then I'm just gonna put my finger right there in the middle on my knot. I'm gonna hold it with my finger and my thumb. And pull it to a size that is gonna be more dimensional with my card. Okay, and then I'm just gonna bring in my snips and trim it up. Let's see if I can just do that left-handed without putting my hand over it for you guys. No, I'm gonna have to turn it sideways to grab a hold of it and trim it so you don't have to. I could get a pair of scissors that were a little bit sharper. I'll grab my ribbon scissors here. And let's see if I can do my ribbon scissors and just hold it up so you can see how pretty that is. So you have that great color combination, and then it's gonna look beautiful. I'm gonna put some dimensionals on the back of it so I can pop it up. And you could, if you wanted to use your dies and you had them, you could just cut out this wisteria image and pop it right up on there if you wanted to, which would look really cool too. So I'm just gonna quickly slap 4 dimensionals on here, and I'm gonna put one in the middle. Actually, I'm gonna put 2 in the middle, just so my image is not caving in. I so need to get this set. Pam, yes, you do. I love this set. In fact, one of my classes for this month will be using this set. I guess it's my August class will use this set. And in that class, it will be here, so we'll be using some of the dies with it for those cards. So, okay, so I'm gonna pull my cardstock in, make sure my card is opening the right way, and I'm just gonna put this in the middle like this. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love it, but it could be even prettier. How do you ask? If I can find some of these gorgeous little heart pearls, we're gonna put those on there. And these little pearls, there's 180 of them on here, so they are quite the deal. So you might want to throw them around like it's rice, right, for that price. So I'm going to use some of these white ones, and they're actually, these are in 2 different sizes. So I'm going to use a big one down there, and then 2 little ones up in here. we go. Okay, what do you think, you guys? Do you like it? I think it's super pretty. I love those colors together. So that's our first card. And I'm doing them right in the order they are on our tutorial. So if you are in the club and have the tutorial, you can just be following right along with me. So this is going to be the next one that we're going to do. I'm going to just grab some stamp cleaner real quick and clean my stamps off, because we're going to be using them for all of the stamps that we're, all of the cards that we're doing. So I'll just give them a little quick washeroo here. One of the things I like best about this stamp is that it is that two-dimensional, but you have the great dies that match it, and you can do it so it looks almost like salvia, and so that it looks exactly like wisteria. So there's just so much you can do with it. So you can make really quick and easy cards like the last one we made, a little 5-minute card, right? So, or you can take a little more time, make it a little more in-depth. Let me see if I can find myself. Oh, Debbie, I'm glad that you like it. I hope you have your kid out and you're following along. Nancy, thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying it. These cards are really just beautiful. And I like that they're so easy to make. So, and they look like you've put like hours of time into it. The original one I got of this, I got in one of our team swaps from Cheryl Spitzley, I believe it was. She is a very talented stamper, and I often find myself sharing the designs that she makes. So this one we're going to take out. This is our color and contour. It's this, they're called the scallop contour dies. And then we have two pieces, two ovals here. And they are from the dual oval punch. Okay. Oh, I forgot my card base. That will help us out. All right. Here we go. So our card base again is the thick Whisper White. It is 5.5 by 8.5, and the 8.5 inch side is scored at 4 1/4. I'm just going to start by folding on that score line, bringing in my bone folder and burnishing it. Okay. So that is going to be my card base, and I'm just going to set it aside because we're going to be doing our stamping on this piece and then on this piece. And we are going to be using Old Olive and Gorgeous Grape, and I think I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape and just do 2 generations with it. So you can see that you don't need 100 different shades of purples to kind of make this work. So, well, maybe, yeah, I'm gonna do it that way. Okay. All of these decisions are hard for my brain at this point in the evening, apparently. So we're gonna use some Old Olive, and I'm gonna stamp some words. And this one is going to say, happiness grows within. So let's get my little words out here. And then we're going to need this the little leaves for this one. Okay, so that should do it for the stamps. Let's get a little block here. And some words. I think they'll fit on here. Yep. All right, so my little oval, I am going to stamp my sentiment on. And because it's photopolymer, again, you can just stamp it, punch it out, and put your words right in the middle of it and have great success. So I'm going to set that aside for a minute, and then we're going to take, this is the largest rectangle in the scallop contour dies. I think that's what they're called. So I'm going to now take my kind of branch and ink it up with my Old Olive. And just put it on here like this. And then I'm going to take my, I'm going to close this up because I don't want to ink my flower in it. So this again is going to be the thickest part of the wisteria, and it is going to be the lightest part also. So I'm going to stamp off with it. So I'm going to stamp my first generation, and this again is Highland Heather, no, Gorgeous Grape. I decided I was going with Gorgeous Grape. So I'm going to ink it in Gorgeous Grape, and then I'm just going to stamp it, and then I'm going to line it up here and stamp my image. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with the smaller wisteria, which is going to be our darker color. So I'm just going to ink it and then stamp with it first generation. So this is going to, because the Gorgeous Grape is the darkest of our purples, it's just going to give it a really, really pretty color to it. So you don't need that other one to come in and lighten it up. We're just going to use just Gorgeous Grape. Okay, and then I'm going to take my little scalloped oval and kind of put it right there, and I'm going to ink up the smaller leaf, and I want to put it down towards the bottom so it looks like it's coming out from that punch. Okay, so far so good. In this card, we're not using any designer series paper, we're not using any ribbon. It's just going to be it's so plain that it just has this really elegant kind of stunning look to it. One of the things we're going to do is add that kind of yellow So Saffron color to the background. So I'm going to take my blending brush, and I'm going to take my So Saffron ink pad, and I'm just going to ever so lightly tap my blending brush onto my ink, just very, very lightly. And then I'm going to add color to my card. So you're going to be able to see this color as it's going on. And you can make it as dark as you want or as light as you want. I'm just going to kind of shadow around where my leaves are. I'm just going to pick up, I want to pick up only a little bit of ink, so I'm picking up what I tapped off after I first inked my brush. Okay, so let me see if I can get this up here so you can see where it's kind of yellow. It has kind of that really yellow, nice kind of blended look to it. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my little oval punch. And you can actually punch this in So Saffron paper if you wanted to, but I thought I'm just going to add a little bit of color around the edges with my blending brush. Real quick and easy there. All right, put that one back up there. I'm going to pop up my little phrase there. I'll bring my card base, or my card die back in, and I'm just going to add 2 dimensionals to my little punched oval that has that really nice kind of soft saffron. Saffron's a great one to blend because it just has this really soft, kind of a baby yellow look to it. And I'll bring in my words. Let's use my arm reach there. There we go. And I'm going to put my words up on dimensionals too. And you can, of course, tie a bow up here if you want to. And I think maybe we will. I didn't on my original one. And this one kind of looks yucky with that. Hang on one second. Let me grab my Gorgeous Grape blend. If I can find it real quick. All right, we'll skip the bow on this one. And we're gonna use it just like this. And we're gonna bring in some pearls. And I use the kind of opaque ones on that other one. So let's try some of these little splashy ones that have kind of a glossy finish to them. And these already are adhesive backed, so they already have this sticky on the back. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna add one big one and then two smaller ones. They're just the tiniest little hearts. They are so adorable. There we go. And I think we have enough dimensionals on the front of the card that I'm just going to go ahead and attach my base using, or my scallop die cut using Stampin' Seal. So I'm just going to do it like that. Okay? Let's see if I can tip this light up, if that might help. That might help a little bit. So now you can see that just beautiful card. I think it's so pretty. And it doesn't, again, have to have all of the fancy ribbons and the bows and all of that. You can really, this is one piece of cardstock, a die cut, and a punch. So super simple and easy. All right. Trying to get myself organized here. And this is the third one. This one is, I think, is the one that kind of looks like salvia almost. So we're gonna do this one with Fresh Freesia, which is that light color. And again, I'm gonna stick with the Fresh Freesia so that you can see what the difference with the, without using 3 different colors of ink out here. So we're gonna come back to Pear Pizzazz and Fresh Freesia. Okay, if you are in the club and you got it, we're gonna do Fresh Freesia and Highland Heather. Those are the 2 that we used for the card that we did on our tutorial sheet. So I'm gonna start by cutting a piece of Designer Series paper, 5 1/4 by 4. Okay. Where did I put the paper cutter? You would think that I am like doing this in this little teeny tiny space, but let's get it going. 5 1/4 by 4. It's a messy little space. I am gonna have to clean it up before I go tomorrow. I cannot go on vacation with my little rubber room looking like this. That would be not good. Okay, so I guess I need my envelope now, don't I? So I think it's gonna be this envelope. Nope. My dad would say, that's what you get for thinking, Lincoln. Okay, so this one, I'm gonna take a piece of thick Whisper white and this piece of white that we're gonna stamp our images on. So this thick Whisper white is, you guys guessed it, 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored on the 8 1/2 inch side at 4 1/4. And I am going to burnish the score line, fold it in half, and burnish. And then I'm going to take this Designer Series piece of paper that I cut, and you can always, when you do this, you'll have this little piece down here. You can cut it and put it on the inside if you want to. That's a great idea, and it's like a little added surprise when they open their card to see that. So I'm just gonna put some Stampin' Seal on my Designer Series paper. And when you're in club and you get that half a pack of paper, it allows you to just use any of the pieces that you want. So you can kind of make this card your own by picking your favorite Designer Series papers And if you don't have this stamp set, you can use any stamp set that you like. Any floral will work in there. So I'm gonna take Pure Pizzazz, and let's get the stamp that we need out of here. We actually need two, because this one we're gonna do a greeting that says hang in there. And we're gonna do some stems that actually come up from the bottom. This stamp makes this a very versatile stamp set. So I'm gonna just take this one off this block and put this one on there. And I'm gonna stamp it more than once across the bottom. So I'm gonna start with this one, a little bit off over here. And then I'm gonna line this one up on the right. Now I am left-handed, so if it seems like it's backwards to you and you want to start on the right, that's perfectly fine. It could be backwards to you. I am often backwards to a lot of people, so that is just perfect. The way that it works for you is how you want to do it. So I'm just gonna wipe off these Wisteria images. And again, the biggest one, which has the most stamp coverage, is gonna be the lightest one. So we're gonna do second generation. So I'm gonna stamp it in my fresh freesia, and I'm gonna stamp off, and then I'm gonna stamp it right on the tops of my flowers. And then I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna stamp the ones on the right. And I'm gonna take my words. Oops. I'm not gonna take my words yet, am I? I'm going to take the top part of this wisteria, and you can easily, guys, leave it just like this. You don't have to add that top added color to it unless you want to. I think that the two-step stamping gives it a pop of color and gives it a lot of dimension. As you can see when I'm going along, I think it just really brings that flower to life. There we go. All right, I'm gonna stamp my little hang in there. And sometimes I stamp at an angle. My mom used to say kitty wampus. I have a friend that drives her crazy, so Miss Jacqueline, I'm stamping it straight just for you tonight, so hope you enjoy that. And then I'm going to take this ribbon, and I'm going to take a piece about this big and cut it off. And when you get the tutorial, I think it says 7 inches, which I couldn't be more right on 7 inches, could I? I just measured that, and it is exactly 7 inches. So I'm just gonna take that, and I'm gonna tie a knot in the middle of it. It doesn't have to be exactly in the middle. It doesn't have to be a knot. You can put a bow on it if you wanted to. Your card, you decide how you want to decorate it. I'm gonna take some Stampin' Seal and put it around there. And then I'm just gonna put my bow on it. And there we go. Right? So I'm gonna bring in my card base and pop it right on there. And I think that these little dots in the background just really help to bring out those flowers. But again, you don't even have to use the DSP. You could just use a piece of fresh freesia back there if that's what you wanted to do. And we're gonna bring in a couple little hearts to add to it. And this one too, you could color your hearts with your fresh freesia marker if you wanted to, your blend. I'm just gonna space a few of these out in here. So there is card number 3. How pretty is that, you guys? I think that those little hearts add so much to it. I just really like those. Okay, so our last one, we're gonna head away from the gorgeous purples, and we are going to be using some in colors. So we're going to be using, here's what our card's going to look like. So we're going to be using some of this beautiful, bright, happy parakeet party, some of this gorgeous orchid oasis, and then this deep, vibrant starry sky. That starry sky is like one of my favorite colors. It's so deep and rich. It's like you can just feel the depth of that color when you're stamping with it. So I'm gonna start off by making some ribbon. This organdy ribbon is gorgeous. I'm gonna take about, well, I'm gonna take 15 inches of it because that's all I have. You can't take more than you have, can you? So I'm just gonna take that, and I'm gonna take my my dark starry sky marker or blends, and I'm going to color it. So I'm going to be using the brush tip of my blend, and what you want to do is hold your blend almost flat, so it just has a little bit of an angle to it, and that's going to keep your tip nice and flat at the very tip. So I'm just going to very lightly run it over my ribbon. And you can see now this beautiful fresh freesia, which is such a light pastel soft color, is turning this beautiful, vibrant, bright, deep, starry sky color. I think that is just so gorgeous. So I'm going to set that aside and just let it dry while we make our card. And that is also how I colored these little hearts. Okay, so I'm actually gonna go in and color one more little heart just for the fun of it. So you can see it just colors so nicely. But you do wanna be sure that you're using your blend at an angle so you're not smushing down your tip on it, because you don't want that flat tip on there. Okay, so I'm going to take this piece back, and this piece back. I'm going to clean this one off and put it back. And this one's going to go on here. And then we have this one, and then I'm going to get some words. And on this one, I'm going to use this one, to a friend who's all kinds of wonderful. So that's the one I'm going to use on here. And if you guys in club are watching, I will post this, I will share this video right to our club page. So you'll have it there. And we do, if you're a part of club, we do have a page, our own little Facebook group page. So we share some things there. And club is $30 a month. If you are close and do a pickup, a door pickup, or a porch pickup, and if you need it mailed, it's $38. And that is charged to your credit card monthly. It is a subscription club. So if you want to join, just leave me a comment, or you can email me or personal message me here, however you want to do it. We have a lot of fun in club, and normally, like I said, club is done on a Zoom. We don't usually do it here on our Facebook page, but because I'm going on vacation and it just worked out that way, that's how it's happening this month. Okay, so our next tutorial, we are going to start with a piece of basic white, which our basic white piece is 5.5 by 4. Okay, and then our thick whisper white, which you guessed it, is 5.5 by 8.5, scored the 8.5 inch side at 4.25, and we're just gonna fold that on the score line and burnish it. Okay, and then we're gonna take a piece of this gorgeous parakeet party paper, and we're gonna cut that 5.5 by 1.25. Okay, so it's going to be 5.5, which I think I've already cut this at 5.5. There we go. I'm going to actually cut my 1.25 side first, and that is 1.25 there, and then I'm going to cut it at 5.5. And you can use your extra paper to decorate your envelopes with. You can make more cards, however you want to use it. So I'm going to start off by taking this 5.5 by 1.25 inch strip of paper, and I'm going to put it onto my card base on the very left side. I think I'm running out of snail here. So I'm just going to make sure again my card is opening in the right direction. And put that piece of paper down. Okay, and then I'm just going to set this aside, and I'm going to do my stamping on this piece of paper. So I'm going to come in and ink my leaf or branch with this beautiful parakeet party ink. And this one is really juicy. I probably should have kind of dried it off a little bit, but we'll make it work like this. And then, because our big one is going to be our lightest, so the big one is going to be Orchid Oasis. So we're going to take the Orchid Oasis, and this is one where we're going to use 2 colors and just kind of really, really build on that color depth. Okay, so that's our Orchid Oasis, and I might even like that a little bit lighter. I do. I think I'm gonna, well, let me try the Starry Sky on it and see, because I might have done that a second generation. I think that I did, but let me just, yeah, it'll work this way. I'm just not a fan, so I'm flipping it over. I'm going rogue, you guys. And I'm actually gonna start on the other side, which we have gorgeous paper. It's 2-sided, and so we can stamp on either side. It doesn't matter. But I really am gonna like this stamped more lightly, a little bit lighter. So I'll put that there. And then I'm gonna come in with the Orchid Oasis, and I'm gonna stamp off. So it'll be a second generation. And then put it on my card. Oh, I like that much better. All right, and if you like the darker, by all means, stick with the darker. There's no right or wrong. And I'm just gonna put the Starry Sky right over top of it. Doesn't that add so much dimension, you guys? I just absolutely love that. And I'm gonna stamp my words up, ink my words up, and stamp them down here in the corner. And we're done stamping. Can you believe it? This is just a really quick one. Where did I put my ribbon to dry? There it is. Now, when I color it like that, it makes it kind of stiff. So I'm gonna bring my snips in, and I'm just going to hold my ribbon on top of my snips, put my thumb over my ribbon, and just gently pull it through. And that's gonna soften it enough that I can get a really good bow with it. So I'm going to take 2 bunny ears. I'm going to take my left over my right, and I'm going to put it down through the hole and up. So that's how I make my bows. And then I just hold top and bottom on my knot and pull that through until I get the size that I want. Okay, and actually I'm gonna put this onto my card, and I'm just gonna use some snail with it because I kind of want it to it's gonna overlap and cover up a little bit of that parakeet party. So it's gonna go on like this, only straight. There we go. And I'm going to put a little glue dot on my ribbon. My little bow, it's going to go on the back of my bow and then on the edge of my card. And then I can come in and play with my bow a little bit more. And you can, you know, like I said, we've done this with purple and we did it with this gorgeous blue. It would be beautiful in different shades of pink. Those would be really pretty. And let's bring in, I take your pick tool and our pretty starry sky pearls, heart pearls. Come on, baby. I think I'll go here. And then I think I'll do one down here by my words. Okay. And I'm going to share all of these with you so you can see that your cards don't always have to be exactly the same. This one I just used one of the little pearls on it down by my words. This one I used 3. Let's see. This one I used a different color ink on it. So this is the I'm still going backwards with you guys. This is the Fresh Freesia 2 Generations, and then this is Fresh Freesia and Highland Heather. So you can see, and that's a 2nd generation with Pear Pizzazz. So there's lots of different options that you can have, and sometimes it helps me to not try and make 2 that are exactly the same. So this one, again, we used Fresh Freesia and Highland Heather. Nope, this one we used Highland Heather 2 Generations, and this one Fresh Freesia 2 Generations. So we put the hang in there, kitty wampus, or kitty corner. This one we did for Jacqueline, so that it's perfectly straight. And then we did this one. I don't know where my original one got to. Oh, here it is. How about that? We're at the end of this video and I can still find things on my table, right? So this one is 2 Generations of Gorgeous Grape, and this one is Gorgeous Grape and Highland Heather. This one is much heavier handed with the So Saffron blending brush. So there's no reason both of them have to be the same. You pick out what you like best and work with that, you guys. So thanks for tuning in with me. I am going to be on vacation next week, so I will not be here. Just a quick reminder that today is the last day to order from the last chance list, and tomorrow is the last chance to order the BOGO kits. So if you need some kits for your holiday crafting or making cards, your holiday cards, birthday parties, whatever you need a kit for, they are buy one, get one half off until the end of tomorrow. So thanks everybody, and if you place a minimum $35 order on my website using the link I'm going to post for you, I will send you some free tutorials. And if you need a mini catalog, they are our July to December mini catalogs and our celebration catalogs. Just let me know and I will be happy to get them off to you when I get back from vacation. Thanks, everybody. Oh, let me buzz through here real quick and see if anybody had any questions. I don't think I saw any. Oh, thanks, Carol. I'm glad you like them. And Nancy, you guys are so sweet. Denise, delicate is a really, it's a great word for it. Yeah. All of my card club girls love our club. We do have great fun on our Zooms, and I'm glad that you enjoy it, Denise. Okay, I think that's it, Debbie. Debbie's always sending love. I appreciate it. Thanks, you guys, so much, and have a great rest of the evening, and enjoy your 4th of July. Bye-bye.